Hello, hello. So if I had no sound this entire time, good lord. Okay. I don't know why they let me cast these games. Just to recap, lots of Norse. Beers are good. Uh, this Valkyrie is insane. This Valkyrie is also good. He's gonna get a lot of inducements, and I'm not sure what inducements he's gonna pick. And then this bloater's insane, and these pestigores are ridiculous. That's the short and sweet. Oh man, I don't know why they let me. I don't know why they let me cast that stuff because I always forget that for whatever reason, OBS always decides to just forget my microphone exists if I don't stream every so often. Anyway, uh, Liam Colston, coaching the Colourful Vikings, is our last Big O coach. We are not live just yet. So, just to recap, oh, there's my alarm to tell me that this is the time the game is supposed to start. Just to recap, this is the ReBBL playoff semifinals. The Colourful Vikings versus the Too Ugly to Be Blocked. I am Cheesy X, your host, who is now has a voice. I am unfortunately a little bit under the weather still, uh, so if I fail to mute myself when I have to clear my throat, I apologize. Not quite started yet, so I guess I have a little bit of time. Um, oh, we are seeing MNG linemen being kicked off the team. He's presumably replacing them. Or maybe he's just not bothering replacing them. And because he wants those inducement stars. Well, they were MNG anyway, so he didn't have to fire them, right? Little confusing. But this does put him at 13 players total for this game. I did note that there was only one Ulf, which is a little unusual. I don't know if his previous Ulf died. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be changing anything there. We're not live. Um, yeah, I'm not entirely sure what the plan is. I mean, I feel like I would probably replace the Ulf because Strength 4 is good. But also, do you want to have an Ulf that without block at this crucial part of the playoffs? And also, the Ulf is one less potential star. Because right now he has space for free stars. And some of these inducements are pretty cheap. Like, Cindy Pie Whistle is $50, 50k. You might be able to get like Cindy, Helmut, and Puggy, but I'm not sure that's worth it. We might see something like a Zug pickup. We'll find out. Okay, so we're looking at Morgan Forg and Cindy Pie Whistle right now. That is more inducements than I realized he was getting. Still debating. He may be wondering if Morgan Forg is worth the 380k in this matchup. Kind of hard to say that the +2 Mighty Blow block massive strength piece is ever bad. Running out of time on this, so this is probably the inducements we're going with. Should be noted that if Morg gets knocked down near a beer board, there is just a 5+ that he might stand back up and just punch whoever knocked him down. But yeah, so Abeno, one runner on the bench, and it looks like the Colourful Vikings chose to receive the ball. Interesting that he's decided to go on the offense instead of trying to defend when he knows he has full 11. However, having Morg might, allow that to pay off. You just punch rotters a bunch of times and he runs out of rotters because he's only got one on the bench. Trying to spread out some of these players in case William decides to bring on Cindy Pie Whistle. I don't expect he will bring Cindy on for the offensive drive. Just because it's kind of hard to utilize the bomb when you're on offense. This may be an example of the classic Big O input delay. So, just to recap for anyone who hasn't seen him because of how absurdly expensive he is, Morg is a movement 6, strength 6, agi 3+, passing 4+, AV 11+, ogre with +2 Mighty Blow that also has block. And then once per game, he can reroll a failed passing test during a pass or throw teammate. Now, the throw teammate doesn't really matter. I would love to see a beer boar have like the right stuff. It would be hilarious. But passing agi 3+, passing 4+. If you get super desperate, you might see a pass. And the Nurgle team is bashy enough that they could cause that level of desperation, but probably unlikely to see that rule used. Yeah, just lining up to take a bunch of hits. Solid defense is... I mean, we might... Let's see, is that 6? We might see some of these players move forward and consolidated a bit simply because of the fact that there's no bomb on the pitch. But right now, because they're so far back, that's kind of preventing um, Liam from feeling like he can blitz anything that matters. So we are going more aggressive with our positioning here. I don't know how I feel about this. It's like the issue is like this lineman has block and can just punch this rotter, and then we have Morg that can blitz in and punch either one of these guard pieces. So I'm not sure I would really want to be exposing the bloaters. Because that was what was good about this setup, is that you have the line of bloaters here, and Liam didn't really feel like he was safe to blitz that. But now we've set up in a way that, you know, Morg can blitz basically whatever he wants. And there's probably a world where we have onto this Pestigore. I'm just not sure how you would do it off the top of my head. But yeah, we are seeing this lineman free up Morg. Where did the ball end up going? The ball is super deep, so we're not particularly worried about the Nurgle getting to it. So the question becomes, are we going to see Liam just punch as many rotters as possible to try to remove the ablative armor of rotters, or are we going to see him take that Mighty Blow +2 against the bloaters? Because theoretically, you punch here, and then you stay, and then that's +2 against this bloater. So that's a 2-die that way. And then you put probably the beer, or you, no, the beer boar has, no, you probably put the beer boar there, and it's a 2-die this way, and that creates a 2-die here, and then like all these pieces just got punched. Liam thinking through his options and his blitz targets, though. Opts the blitz to the opposite side to just wrong foot all of the bloaters that have been committed to the left-hand side here. Bloater does not break. Block is a good skill. Just a stun there. My one concern is, like, how do you extract all these pieces? Because, like, they're kind of stuck now, and they're just going to get punched, so you have to dodge them away. Which means that inevitably this Ulf is going to end up on the floor. So, like, sure, you've wrong-footed the bloaters, but then, like, half your team is also on the wrong side. And you're not that much faster than them. Yep. We have successfully picked up the ball. So far back, it's still going to take another turn for Volkmar the Blue here to get anywhere close. But we are just setting up to take over this right-hand side of the pitch. Do we opt to dodge away? Or are we just gonna... Yep, we're dodging away with at least the dirty player. We make it away on the 4+. So the only thing left is this one lineman. Which does fail, but it is the last action of the turn. So he just accepts that. Does the boar have to remain standing? Standing player, yeah. generate a knockdown. We are taking over the centerpiece here, which is a nice spot to be able to put all the bloaters. Does look like we're possibly blitzing the beer boar. Yeah. Try to knock it down so that it can't cause these players to stand up. It is AV6 plus, so pretty squishy. And the beer boar is just dead immediately. Ah, that was fast. So there will not be any 5+ rolls for down players in this drive. There is another one on the bench. So we may see that come back later. Dodging away the bloater, and the bloater does go down. Does break though. That break is pretty huge. Because it makes it a lot easier to consolidate on this right-hand side if Liam were inclined to. Yeah. And it looks like we are probably going to blitz this router and then consolidate over on this right-hand side. We can get all the way forward to here. But we get a knockdown on the router. This is Mighty Blow +2, so maybe we'll see some action. No. Morg has been an abject failure in every game I have cast, and this is probably going to continue. My only concern here is we're not really controlling the bloaters any. So we're in danger of just being squeezed out. It's like last turn we started committing onto this side and didn't control the bloaters, so they just came central position. And so now they're not really wrong-footed like they were previously. Not quite sure where he wants to set Morg, but it is kind of hard to set up full-on block onto Morg. See, blitzing at strength 4, they can get 5, 6. So the best he can do is 1 die. Are able to just build a nice little screen here. That's unfortunate. And a stun, too. Honestly, I may have stood this lineman up and just let him be bloater food. Because 2 guard bloaters is a lot less scary than 3 bloaters, in my opinion. Feels like this is especially the turn where you want to limit where these can position. However, it doesn't feel like this positioning is really controlling where Liam wants to go. Yeah, it looks like Amino is just setting up here and just saying, look, if you want to go down this right-hand side, you can go down the right-hand side. I'm going to squeeze you out over the next 2 turns, though. Get a knockdown on this random guy over here. This is the movement 8 Pythagore, so it's not too good of a commitment to bring him over here. Does kind of pin this lineman, because you don't really want to dodge him out till like the last action. Fails to dodge away, but it is better than getting punched by Morg. But yeah, it's Liam set up to push himself down this right-hand side, and it doesn't look like Ameno is particularly concerned. Again, with these bloaters in this central position and tying up like these three players, Ameno is just saying, look, you can go down that right-hand side, and I'll push you forward. Yeah. And Liam kind of doesn't have a choice. He kind of has to go down this side now, because like a quarter of his team is over here, sort of stuck. The other concern is, in order to make this not a base cage, it kind of feels like he's going to want to blitz with Morg, and this is a loner blitz. Manages to knock down. Gets a break. It is just a stun. That's not a full cage, so this guy has to come backwards. Where are we on score potential? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go for it, go for it. This cage needed to be like... Ooh. Okay. Dodge gets him away. This cage feels like it needs to be 1 square forward. I would 100% dodge this guy and then just put him into this square here and try to get this bloater stuck. I think that's objectively worse. I think you need to control this bloater and prevent it from going where Ameno wants it to this turn. Lineman dodges out, fails, stuns himself, so he's effectively out of this drive. And again, this Pestigore is moving 8, so it can get back over here and be relevant to this play just fine. But to me, this feels like the pieces that are like controlling Liam's options are the bloaters. And it feels like Liam should be trying to use some of these random off-center players to control the bloaters a bit more. Like, sure, it gives up a block on an 88 plus piece, but not having to deal with a strength 4 guard piece being inserted somewhere, that feels worth it to me. The other concern that Liam had is this bloater was going to stand up this turn. So he needed to position himself in a way that this bloater wasn't going to be a problem to the back of the cage. Now the question is, how aggressive is a minnow? Because, okay, so the answer is very aggressive. And I don't think I disagree with this choice here, because it's like, what does Liam do about this? He has 2 pieces that are not currently actively marked. He's just marked them. Yeah, and we mark up... I don't like that GFI. I guess? But the play was always going to be blitzing with this Ulf, because it inserts guard here to be able to punch this Pestigore. But yeah, not having a scoring threat has now left Liam in a bit of a lurch, I would say. For the record, I think that GFI is worse because you're giving Liam a piece to work with. Admittedly, it's not like in a great spot. But at the same time, in my opinion, the play was always blitz with this Ulf to insert guard to make this hit work. Feels like this might have to be... This might have to be a strength 4 blodge potato. You block this bloater. Yep, like that. This guy blitzes in. And you get a 2-die here. You can dodge off and you can go that way. And then you just hope that he can't get his tackle piece out well enough. Okay, so he's taking the 2-die on this piece. Which I guess fair enough. Opens up the path regardless of what happens. Yeah, and then the follow-up hit knocks down this Rodder, which gets him out of the way. Yeah, the big concern here, though, is just like this isn't safe, and there's a plus agi movement 8 Pestigore just sitting here. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so he has... The Morgue follow was wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So the... Interesting, so we're actually punching with the ball. And this doesn't really feel like it fixes the problem. But what I was seeing was if you take the ball this way, and this spot is cleared, the Valkyrie can come all the way up here in GFI, and that gets in the way of the tackle piece. But because he followed in with Morg, that path was blocked out. Liam? So what I especially don't like about this position is the fact that we never moved this Valkyrie forward because we had to punch with it. So we're still not in a scoring position, except for with this Ulf. And this cage is some form of arcane symbol, perhaps? I'm not certain. Here's the first knockdown. Just gonna move one of these players away. Opts to move the dodge piece away to try to prevent it, Magnet Hands, from going to that piece. Not sure that block was necessary. this blitz should be happening before these blocks, because this blitz is far more important. We get the knockdown, pushes the ball down. The ball goes to the same spot, so it's now marked by 3 Nurgle pieces. 2 Nurgle pieces we dodged backwards. But yeah, like this Ulf is the only scoring threat. So we may see a handoff to this Ulf. Bloater is technically surfable, but not easily. Liam is in a very tough position in this drive. I wonder if there's a way that we could punch this bloater. No, because the only way we'd get him out of the stink is to punch the bloater down or to push the Ulf up. And we don't have the angle for either of those. Morg punching this Rotter frees up this Valkyrie. Also creates a 1-die surf on this bloater. I'm struggling to find any possible plays. I guess. Which is kind of what I think we should have done the previous turn. But yeah, as Herringswood was pointing out, you could see this position coming from turn 2. So it kind of surprises me that Liam continued in onto this position. Are we trying to cage on the sideline here? That is a wrestle piece. That's 1 less player standing. So we could 1-die to surf this bloater, or we could go for the 4+ pickup. 4+ pickup is more important, so we're trying that. Team roll reroll is used and it fails, and it scatters into the Nurgle. That's really bad for Liam. I don't know. Maybe the correct play was the 2. Uh-oh. So it's just the lineman being injured, but Liam only has so many subs, and if 2 more players get removed, we might see Cindy Pie Whistle forced onto the pitch before a full drive, which would be really, really bad. But now the ball is cleared off. Yeah, and we're just blitzing the remaining scoring threat. Don't knock him down, but we push him into a place where he's much less relevant than he was before. The sneaky Norse Raider might actually be relevant to something. But also, the Pestigore can just come down here. But at the same time, you don't want to come down here because Morg is Edgy 3+. So he can just dodge out. It's like you can 1-die here for a push and just dodge out on a 3+ to punch the wall. And you really don't want your ball carrier getting punched by Mighty Blow +2 if you can avoid it. So, just coming into the center here. Opts to use a team reroll on that. Is that necessary? Not certain it was, but... Because it's not like you're filling this square. Wait, did following in actually create a path? Yeah, so he followed in on that block and he created a path to just walk in on the ball. I don't think Amino realized his lineman was over here. Because that's a 2+ POW fish. But if you don't get the POW, you push him in the morgue. There's no way Amino knew that this piece was over here. He had to have missed him completely. It's kind of surprising, I'm not gonna lie. Liam thinking through his options, or the game is slower on his end because he's at the big O. I almost want to set up a poll to see if whether or not the people think this is going to roll too. I don't know how I feel about this block. Like, sure, you've punched an important piece, but this block doesn't matter. The only dice you're rolling at the moment that matter are these. I legitimately would not roll anything else. Like, sure, it moves this Valkyrie into a scoring position and lets you move the goal. Oh, there's the inevitable one. Team reroll is used. We get the POW! What's gonna happen with the scatter? Okay, scatter is not good, but Morg can punch and cause another scatter. If the ball scatters over here into a magnet hands, we could have a game on our hands. Ugh! Double skull. That's a loner, but you've got to re-roll that. Yep, we get the loner re-roll, and we get a POW. Scatter. Oh my. That's not the magnet hands Liam was looking for. And we don't get the knockdown there. I guess you can push him down into Morg. Oh man. Oh, that's a strip ball piece. Oh man. That's... I don't even know what to say. Like... What do you say at that point? Also, I'm going to turn back on... Oh, that's another removal. trying to turn back on all player skills, and it's... Is that not the right... Oh, here we go. Innate skills. Oh god, never mind. That is unreadable. So now, once again, the ball's on a best score. This theoretically isn't 100% safe though, because this Ulf can punch here on a 1-die, and then if he pushes in, then there's a 1-die here from this lineman, which opens up... Oh, never mind. That lineman's gone. I mean, there's a couple options for Liam to blitz the ball. Are there any scoring threats? This guy's a bit of a scoring threat. Not really a good way to handle that, though. So, we could theoretically punch... We could stand this guy... That's double guard, though. We could theoretically punch this loader, and then 3+ in with Morg to 2-die. This is a 1-die into a red. If it were me, I simply would not have had my opponent succeed on Magnet Hands on 2 bloaters. Yeah! Just don't have them roll 6s, and that's fine. Morg has taken a block, so we are not taking the 3+ dodge with Morg to utilize his strength 6 to get through the guard. 1-die there, which opens up this square, so we'll probably get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's a 1-die, unfortunately, but it's with Wrestle Strip Ball. Or, excuse me, with, it's Dauntless Strip Ball. So, there's the dodge. We get a push, but that does take the ball down, and now another bloater can catch it. Wow. Liam's scatters have just not helped him. Like, I don't... Block is a good skill, so that's one less potential scoring threat. We could dodge out the Ulf on a 4+ to come down here and tag up this Pestigore again. We do not do that. I feel like I probably would have done that simply because this is the guy that's going to make me lose this game. So, it's beginning to look like we're going to have to rely on silly dice from Cindy Pie Whistle. Oh no. That is another lineman gone. But the problem is, we're at 5 players removed. We need both of these KOs to come back, or Cindy Pie Whistle is getting forced onto the pitch on turn... Do you score now? If you're a minnow, do you take the dice to try to score this turn in order to try and force Cindy Pie Whistle onto the pitch turn 8. Because you're playing against Norse, so it's unlikely that they are going to be able to one turn. It's two 50-50s, so that's theoretically a 75% chance that one of them stays out, right? Nope. Shame. I'd have greeted. But then again, that's why these guys are in the playoff semifinals, and I am not in the playoffs at all. Dodge out is good. Yeah. As a reminder, we are also in sweltering heat. Cindy was going to be forced onto the pitch. Also, the thing I don't like about this is there's only one scoring threat. So if Liam dodges out and he manages to find a pal on this past the gore this turn, you're not scoring. Morg continues to be a disappointment. Is there a world where we can get one of the strip balls there? Not really. Maybe? If we go up? Yeah, we go up. 1, 2... 2 plus, 2 plus, 2 plus to 2 die the ball. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. And we fail the rush, because of course we do. And, yeah. I don't... Like... You almost feel bad. Like, when you're casting, you try to keep a level, like... You're trying to stay unbiased. But when things are going this wrong... So, surfing the only Ulf... He's fine. Yeah, and we score turn 8. Both the KOs come back, and one lineman stays out for heat stroke. So that means Liam is going into the second half with his Apo intact. 3, 6, 9, 10 players, one of which is Cindy Pie Whistle, but also a Morgan Fork and a Beer Boar. But also only has a minute 54 of reserve time left. Which could be potentially very difficult, especially because, as we've seen, as some players have pointed out in the past, Big O coaches do have a bit of input lag from the server sometimes. 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. Oh, you're correct. I miscounted. Meanwhile, the plus Agi kill goat is staying out from heatstroke. So Amino will still have a full 11, but that is not one of the pieces you wanted to go out from heat. That's a pretty big deal. Cindy is going way back. I feel like it's not necessary for her to be that far back, but okay. So, Liam's in a bit of a tight spot, but it could be worse. Like, the kill goat is out. We still have Cindy Pie Whistle. Because there was a world where a minnow scores the previous turn and forces Cindy onto the pitch for one turn. We do theoretically still have a game. And with both Cindy Pie Whistle and Morgan play, the potential for swing turns is just so high. Holy cats! Speaking of swing turns, we have a 5-player blitz for a absurdly close kick. I mean, you've got to commit to this as Liam, right? And the Valkyries do start with catch. Also, as a reminder, blitz turns do not allow you to use a reroll. So Liam should make any moves here that aren't going to require him to roll dice before he makes his blitz action. Now the question becomes, do you hard commit all 5 players up here and then just cry when you fumble it into a touchback? Or do you commit like 3 players and just have like a 2-player screen plus the catch? Looks like Liam is going to take the hard commit, and I'm not sure I disagree. Simply because he's in such a bad position that he needs anything he can get. Do you commit the other Valkyrie over here? Yes, it looks like. Valkyrie is part of the screen. It is base, but presumably Morg is going to blitz to fix that. Yep, 3-die blitz. Do we get the knockdown? We'll probably follow into this Pestigore. And as long as we catch this ball, that's a very strong position. And we have caught the ball. It was a 4+ whiff catch. Yeah. Now, suddenly we've got a game on our hands. So this is a little bit more like what Liam wanted to do in the previous drive, of just wrong foot some of the bloaters. Like, this bloater is effectively out of the drive. He's going to be stuck on this lineman the entire drive. Now the question is, as Liam, do you score as quickly as possible, or are you trying to buy as many turns as you can? It doesn't feel like he's in a position that he can stall turns, to me. So it's like, you push down this right-hand field as quickly as possible and score. 3, 4, 5. That's still not enough. Even with the blitz, that's a... Even with the blitz, that's still a 1-die. Because Morg is insane. Oh, that's right. If we score quickly, Cindy goes away. But at the same time, does it feel like we can stall? We do get the POW with Mighty Blow Claw on the Morg. Uh-oh. That's bad. That's really bad. Do we just go backwards? If we go backwards, we bring these two bloaters back into the drive. So it feels like you have to go forwards, but this position is no longer strong at all, with Morg being stunned this turn. And Cindy's not in a position to throw bombs at anything relevant. Which is not really Liam's fault. Like, you can't afford to bring Cindy into this position. You needed every player over there. I don't know what the play is. It almost feels like you're forced to just come up here and take a sideline position and use your strength 4 to push through on the next turn. But, like, then Cindy goes. And that just feels bad. Block is a good skill. No break there. That's a based position. So it's not a sideline cage. Okay, we're just doing like a based cage here? And if we're doing a based cage, why are we not putting the guard piece down here so we can punch this guy? This is kind of just a potato. This is kind of just a potato with extra steps, I'm not gonna lie. And also, like, this guy can just wrap around in one die. Throwing a bomb at bloaters, I guess. Oh, wow! Let's see what happens. The bloater intercepts it yet another 6. Nothing breaks, oh, this Norse lineman breaks, which is a little bit unfortunate. But it does mean that this lineman can run in here, and now he's got tackle zones being annoying in here. Which is kind of hilarious. One die, there's now one less player on this green. And this lineman can dodge out and through, and that's another player. There's more tackle zones. Just limiting the options for a minnow. Like, we can come around here and we can one-die the ball with horns, and we're just hoping for a POW at that point. If we stand him up, this becomes a one-die hit with tackle. And if we get the knockdown and follow in, then this guy becomes an assist. Both down there, which is going to continue to cut this rotter off. If you got a knockdown here, this rotter could run in and become an assist on this Valkyrie. We're not blitzing with the movement 8, so I'm not sure what the blitz is. Just a push here. We have closed in on the front end of the ball, but like, this is strength 4 agi 2+, so it's not going to take very much space. blitzing with this Rotter just to get more tackle zones over in this direction. Probably gonna like add an extra mark to this Valkyrie maybe. He could probably GFI up here. That's actually the better play. Is you GFI back here. I don't know. And the beer board does in fact cause this guy to stand up. Would have been better if Morg stood up. But ultimately, these players are not in a position to really matter. Liam's in a tough spot. Because there's not really a way to cancel this assist. So this is a 1-die. He could dodge out on a 2+ and then blitz in for a 2-die, and then that becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, go for it. I feel like we're adding 2+ to avoid what is essentially a 2+. We do get the POW though. So it's now 2+ with a team reroll and a 2+, and there's the inevitable tripwire. So that will toss the team reroll. Okay, Liam manages to score on that drive. Cindy Pie Whistle is sent off. And I imagine we'll see an argue the call here. What happened? So Cindy is sent off. Oh, rolled a 5. That's unfortunate. Some pretty ridiculous heat stroke rolls. Morg is out. The Ulf is out. This random lineman is out. But losing the Ulf and Morg is insane. Which means Liam is coming onto the pitch with 2 team rerolls. 1 minute and 1 second of extra time. And then 3, 6, 7, 8 players, one of which is a beer bore. That's rough. I mean, Amino lost a bunch as well. Like, he's got our block guard, Mighty Bloater, and 2 Rotters out. But he's still got his best pieces. So we've got 3, 6, 9 on 3, 6, 8. But I would argue that Amino definitely got the better end of this trade. Ref stuns this bloater, which is not great. It could have been far worse, though. Once again, even in this edition, heat stroke fair and balanced. Very fun and interactive mechanic. Now, the meta just taking a bunch of blocks. If he can remove, like, the value of removing any of these players is so much higher. Sure hands fixing the pickup. I feel like you should move these Rotters over here first before you make any rolls. Another knockdown. One thing to note though is both of these Valkyries do have strip ball. So like picking up on this sure hands piece was super important. It is the plus agi plus movement though. This Valkyrie does have wrestle though. So it should be noted that if the beer bore roll had made this guy stand up, he could punch here, and if he gets the knockdown, the Valkyrie could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, go for it, and hit for the wrestle. Which is not like necessarily a good and safe play, but it's probably one of the only chances at the ball Liam's gonna get this drive. And I feel like he probably shouldn't have been allowed to get that at all. However, Liam just does not have options. He's basing in, trying to limit where a minnow can put his players, his bloaters specifically. Hoping to force a minnow into something awkward, or perhaps force a mistake. He might try a dive, but I don't think he... It's one of those things, if you try a dive, you're going to have that option to dive exactly once, and then he gets away and screens off. Oh! That's a nice removal, though. Regen, so it comes back, but it's one less Mighty Blow and the one less Pestigore on the field. And sure, that was a one die, but I would argue that he needs to be taking the one dies in order to generate worlds where these pieces get removed on random one dies. I recommend doing that more. Yeah, I'd have to agree with you, Herringzord. He's going in! I mean, that's not good enough. This is... Wait, this is tackle! That is good enough. That's a knockdown. Okay. I saw it go to the router. I just assumed it was gonna catch. I was not expecting that. That was like a 5+ dodge in there. Okay, well, every Nurgle piece is marked as of right now. Admittedly, this piece is fairly easy to unmark. Or he can just dodge off because he's IG 2+. But the problem with this is the ball isn't marked, and like it's just now just a better screen. Like if a minnow rolls a 2+, and he gets to punch every Norse piece, like the game could just end. There's the first one. Sure hands. Saving him. We're now marking a beer boar. Extremely dangerous piece. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's not what you wanted. How do we punish this? Well, we can punch this guy. We can probably generate a punch here, which means this guy might be able to come all the way around. Block is a good skill, preventing a turnover. Not really the way he wanted to do it, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go for it. Yeah, this Valkyrie can wrap all the way around if this rudder gets knocked down. That's knockdown. I don't know that that's good enough anymore. Especially because when we push this way, we make it so this beer boar can't dodge this way to generate an assist. So it cuts out the GFI, but it is only a 1 die now. I don't know, it may have been better to put him over here so that we could make this a 2-die hit, because it feels like you kind of have to follow up on that, because that last play was super all in. Yeah, there's the blitz. We do get another knockdown because of tackle. So let's see where the ball goes. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's huge. The scatter is not good for Liam, but the ball carrier piece is gone. And he doesn't regen, so he's gone for the whole game. There's not one Pesico on the pitch. Wow. This boar is just gonna get punched by this rocker, isn't it? Like, he just punches this boar and scatters it? Surely we should have put the boar, like, anywhere that doesn't allow it to scatter. Right? Where are we on counts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Nurgle pieces left. Only one of which is a Pestigore. Versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Norse. One of which is a beer boar. This is such a gift. So the beer boar does get punched, and he's not scattering it? Surely the play was to try to scatter the ball there. Uh-oh. So that's another team reroll used. We get the knockdown, which is nice. Break here is huge. Uh-oh. That's also a huge removal. Badly hurt, so that's probably the Apo, I would imagine. Yeah. So that'll come back next drive. But losing that for this drive is massive. We do pick up the ball. However, it should be noted that this piece doesn't have sure hands, which means that this wrestle tackle strip ball Valkyrie is very dangerous. The billboard is causing a failed touch. The billboard forced out the last reroll. So, it should be noted that this is an overtime format, and we are currently tied. And Amino has used his last reroll. Also, Liam has 7 seconds of bonus time. So we run all the way over there. That's fine. It does feel like we can just stand here, add an additional assist here, and we can punch this floater, and then this guy can just kind of walk in, and the ball's on the ground again. Okay, so we're with this lineman, and we're just gonna maximize the amount of pieces that we can free up for the next turn. If the beer boar comes in here, that's a 2-die, and then we can put 2 pieces here, and that's a 2-die there, and then there's, yeah, and that limits where a minnow can go. This is the Dauntless piece, so maybe you don't use that beer boar there. Maybe you rely on Dauntless and you put the beer boar over here. Uh-oh. That's just a stun, but that's like the super bloater. And stunning any piece right now when there's so few on the pitch is massive. Trying to limit the options of these bloaters, but unfortunately this bloater can block here, and now everything can walk into the center. But is that what Liam wants? Is that a trap? Everything walks into the center and then all these players collapse on it from either side? The important thing is, like, we have to stop this Valkyrie. And I'm not really sure how we stop the Valkyrie, because the piece that would be blitzing the Valkyrie is also the piece that has the ball. And also, if a minnow is forced to score on turn 15, that gives Liam 2 turns, and he gets another Valkyrie back. Okay, we're blitzing with the Mighty Blow despite having the ball. That is a very bold thing with no rerolls. It does get rewarded with a stun, and what is frankly a stronger position over here. Does GFI? Does he need it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so he needed those GFIs. We get a knockdown there. Is this lineman in range? This lineman is in range. So the question becomes, are we having another sneaky lineman 1-die? Or is it better to try the dodge through? Like a 4+3+? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go for it. That's one of those turns that I would have to open up, like Dave's action calculator and run the 2 different plays. And Liam, frankly, doesn't have time for that. He's already down to 1 minute 20 seconds in his turn without having taken an action, and he has 7 seconds bonus time. Okay, so coming over. Is he going to GFI, or is he just going to stand there menacing? He's just standing there. Menacing me. ReBBL has moved over for the assist, so the blitz is definitely going to be with his Valkyrie, which is probably coming backwards. You probably go to this square and you can push in, right? Liam possibly dealing with input delays. Already down to 30 seconds left in the turn. Desperately needs to path out this. He's activated the blitz. Makes the first dodge, fails the second. Oh man, he uses the reroll and still fails it. Oh man. Anytime Liam has a way back into this game, it just gets taken from him. That's just brutal. And then we surf the beer boar. That's just excessive. You didn't need to push this boar into the crowd. Someone call PETA. And with that KO, I'm not sure Ameno feels pressured to score this turn. Yeah, he's just gonna stand here and just say, okay, bet. Make your 4+1. I'm not sure I agree with that, because a 4+1 die with a team reroll is not, you know, impossible. Let's see, dodge, 4+, 1 die block, 2 successes. Is 36% with a reroll? I mean, he's given up a 36% chance Yeah. That's a 36% chance to knock the ball down. Reroll. All rerolls used. And there's a knockdown. I mean, that's better. That's like a 1 in 3 chance of knocking the ball down on a 36%. We'd stun the Pesticor. We do unfortunately fail the pickup. However, the ball is still marked. So, like, this rudder can get to it without a GFI. But he does have to do the block. We get the knockdown, so that's fine. So this is now a 3+ for our minnow to just win the game. Or we go into overtime. It's another KO. He fails the pickup. And also, this is a rudder, so that's a 4+. Yeah. So, Liam, despite the absurd position he started this drive in, is going to overtime. We can stand up here and here, and it generates us a 1 die on this bloater with block. And that's probably worth attempting. We do not attempt it at all. Heat stroke, heat stroke, heat stroke. What? So we have 3 linemen out with heat stroke, but both Morg and the guard piece comes back. So that gives Liam 7 players. One of which is an Ulf, one of which is Morg, one of which is a Beerbor, but he also does have the plus Agi Minor Bow Valkyrie. The other Valkyrie is gone. Too Ugly to be Blocked chooses to receive the ball, but the Super Bloater is heat stroked, the Fresh Bloater is heat stroked, and one of the rudders is heat stroked. So that gives a minnow 2 bloaters, 2 Pestigors. That gives him a total of 8 players. So we're looking at 8 on 7. Admittedly, a minnow has most of his best players, but he is out his best bloater. And Morg has come back. I'm not gonna lie, I would actually I would be tempted to put the Beerbor in the center, because actually having these random, like, 5+s to stand these players up could actually matter when there's so few pieces remaining. This game is insane. Yes, he used the last reroll was back the ball, so there are no rerolls on either side. Liam also has no Apo, seconds of bonus time, whereas a minnow has 6 minutes and seconds of bonus time. So a minnow is gonna have all the time in the world, and Liam does not have all the time. Uh-oh. That is a deep kick. That is a really deep kick. And we're out the movement 8 Pestigor, so this guy's gonna have to use his entire movement to go backwards. And as a reminder, as we've mentioned... Uh-oh. That is a first action turnover. Okay. I mean, theoretically, we can GFI with either the Olaf or Orc to mark the plus Agi plus now the 2+2+ just to get to the ball. He does have a reroll. Did we get a brilliant? We got a brilliant coaching, and chose not to use it. So Morg has 3-die blitzed and is now just in the midfield. This Ulf can GFI onto... Okay, this lineman just walks onto him, doesn't even have to GFI. This Ulf can get somewhere over here, probably. The only issue I have with where Morg is placed is it cuts off this square. However, we can put 2 assists here. And now we can punch the other Pestigore. This Pestigore stays in position, but that's fine. Because there is guard and an Ulf there. I'm not... Either a Minnow just did not realize that he picked up a reroll. Or he just decided very, very quickly that he was just eating that. That felt like an instant selection of a skull. It's like he almost didn't realize he had a reroll. That double skull feels potentially catastrophic to me. So that's kind of confusing that he just decided to eat that. But maybe he wanted to save it for the pickup? Because it's back here, if it scatters out and comes this way, I have to assume that that was like a conscious decision, but it's a confusing one to me. Uh-oh. Blitzing with the pickup, it is Juggernaut, so that's fine. Never mind that the game shows that he picked the skull. Rush is good, pickup is good. He has another rush, he can get out of the end zone, which is actually important because this guy can theoretically serve him. Does not... Eats that skull as well. I feel like you have to take that second rush. Because this is a potential surf. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, go for it, go for it. So it would have to be a 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 die to surf. So maybe not surfing is correct? I don't know. Rotter doesn't get knocked down by this guy, but he does get moved out of the way. Are we just gonna put Morg, like, here? Just stand in the way with Morg? Uh-oh. So the Ulf has injured the other Pestigore. It does regen, but it's out of the game. There's only... There is no other drive. So there's now only one Pestigore. That is once again a problem. This beer board can take a 1-die, can't it? That's kind of funny. And Morg runs forward, punches this Pestigore. Punches the Rotter, rather. Doesn't knock him down. But I'm assuming you're just gonna stay and then just use your movement to get over this direction. Wait, you gotta finish. Immediately ends the turn. So that if any of these players get knocked down, there's a chance they stand back up. But also doesn't want this bloater to be able to move freely. Pestigore comes over here, and the Rotter is going to mark Morg. My concern is that it's definitely in range of this Valkyrie. So if we don't manage a POW on this Valkyrie, that's a problem. But at the same time, like... blitzing into the beer bore, I don't hate it. Because it's an easy removal. And if it remains standing, any of the other pieces could stand back up and generate an action. Creates a 2-die here, doesn't get a knockdown. So my concern is the Ulf punches here. This guy punches here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go for it. For a 2-die with a strip ball. And also, Ameno still has not used that reroll. That's 2 turnovers that could have been prevented with that reroll, and I'm not entirely sure why we didn't stop them. Okay, both of the knockdowns are good. So the Valkyrie's path now is clear. So that's a 3+, 2+, 2-die. Admittedly, Liam has no rerolls, but the 3+ is with dodge. Blitz is activated. Opts to blitz the rotter that's marking him. Interesting. Perhaps deciding that Ameno's position is so weak that he doesn't have to blitz him this turn, and he'd rather just come back here and say, you can't move the ball forward. As a reminder for ReBBL overtime rules, it is golden goal. If Ameno scores because he chose to receive, Rotter lives, he wins immediately. However, if he does not score, Liam wins the game. Which means if he menaces this Pestigore to never come forward, Liam wins. He does not have to knock over this ball. He does not have to score. So if he had like failed that GFI and fell over, or even worse, if he'd stunned himself. Oh, good lord! A random 1-die pal. Oh god. Liam punished for the safe play. It's just a random 1-die pal on the blodge piece. KOs it. So perhaps Liam should have just pulled the trigger. Took the rolls. It should be noted, however, that Morg is a 3+, as an Agi 3+. So he can just blitz this Pestigore on a 3+. Yeah, it doesn't feel like Liam has a way to generate anything. And Morg fails the dodge, so that is almost certainly game. Feels like every time Liam fights his way back into a position, it gets taken from him. Like, that random 1-die pal KO is with Mighty Blow there, but still, that's just unfortunate. Yeah, you can't follow that. Oh, there's another removal. We now have 1, 2, 3, 4 Norse on the pitch versus 1, 2, 3, 7 Nurgle on the pitch. It also should be noted that this is just a 4+ dodge, so that's a 4+ 2-die there with another 2-die follow-up. So this Rotter has to get in the way of this. I mean, sure, that makes it... Yeah, that's probably enough. Yeah. So the Ulf is the only one left standing. So he's gonna have to do like a 5+, 4+ if he wants the 2-die. He could do... That's a 6+. Yeah, the only path remaining is 5 plus 4 plus 2 die. Um, yeah, Liam is out of options officially. Thank you very much for the raid, Cut here in L Plate Gamer. You're joining us at the tail end of the ReBBL Playoff semifinals, and he goes for the 6 plus. I would have to run the numbers to see if that is better than the 4 plus 5 plus, because he has no reroll, but that is just going to conclude the game. There's no chance for Liam anymore. Oh man, that is just a crazy end. This game has been nonsense from start to finish, in my opinion. And yeah, it, just a foul on this will do anything. Ah man. I guess the question becomes, do we think Liam took the correct play when he moved the strength 4 back as opposed to taking the chance to hit the ball? I am uncertain, to be honest. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say, and there's no way that Liam can generate a 1 turn off this without any frenzy or plus movement. So that'll be that game. I I feel so bad for Liam. It feels like every time he attempted to do something, the dice just said no. Still, a bunch of players go out from stroke on both sides. Yeah, I guess failing the rush is the same as the 6 plus POW. And with the 1 die POW, um, I'm not even opting for a pass there. But I guess with the 1 die POW, the chance of breaking and removing is lower. Because if that player doesn't get removed that turn, then the game doesn't necessarily end. So I guess it's right that Liam took that play. And it's just so unfortunate that that happened to him. Let's go to the schedule, because I can look at it this way. This takes way too long. Oh, that's right, because it's golden goal, he's not allowed to take actions. The game just ends there. You are correct. That was an all-time classic ReBBL semifinal. It is unfortunate that it was solo cast by me. MVPs are equally useless on either side. A bunch of SPP generated on both ends. Yeah, I mean, these stats don't look particularly lopsided. They certainly felt lopsided for a while. What are the dice rolls? What was the heat roll? That's what I was interested in. 35% armor, 50% armor. Excuse me. 33% catch for 83% catch, and considering most of those catches were 6 pluses, that's kind of insane. Um, dodges are about equal. 100% on foul appearance. You'd expect at least one to fail when you roll 6. 71% KOs. 1 in 3 on pickup is kind of unfortunate. It doesn't show us anything about the heat rolls. That that game was wild, and I don't know how to follow that up. But yeah, commiserations to Liam, who fought incredibly hard to pull that game back and just couldn't quite do it. And congratulations to Ameno for moving on to the ReBBL playoff finals. He will be playing in the Super Bowl. And as for his opponent, he will be playing the winner of Liz Tamania versus the Big Brains. And that will be cast tomorrow, Saturday the 2nd, at 9 a.m. Central, which I believe is 0300 UTC? UTC, let me double check that. That would be... Okay, so that would be 2 p.m. UTC. My 9 a.m. Central is apparently 2 p.m. UTC. I had it the wrong way around. So that would be 1400 UTC Saturday, which is tomorrow, for the Tamania versus the Big Brains semifinal. I will not be casting that. Do we have someone who said they can cast that? I believe, at the moment, the other semifinal will be cast by Vossery. So do take a look at his channel for that. Keep an eye on the stream announcements around that time. I have been Cheesy X, your host. This was the ReBBL playoff semifinals. Colourful Vikings versus Too Ugly to Be Blocked. That is about all I have for you, and it is 200 degrees in this room. So I think I am done. Thank you very much for all of the raids. If you're new here and you've enjoyed the insanity of these games, do look up the ReBBL League. You can look up r/ReBBL, ReBBL, for information about this league. Our signups for the next season have just started. And of course, you can leave a follow here for more of the insane stuff that I cast and the games that I play. Yeah. So I think that is it for me. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for the follows and all the raids. This was a fun game. I'm gonna go drink some water because it's 100 degrees in this room.